What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. In one of the most interesting three-way MVP races in NFL history, Saquon Barkley of the Philadelphia Eagles just had a statement game in a statement team performance against the so-called most storied franchise in NFL history. For the first time since 2020, an NFL running back has rushed for more than 2,000 yards in a single season. Philadelphia Eagles star running back Saquon Barkley reached the 2,000-yard mark on Sunday as his squad walloped the Dallas Cowboys. He came into the game with 1,838 rushing yards and got to 2,000 early in the fourth quarter. After reaching the 2,000-yard mark, Barkley is now closing in on the most rushing yards in a single season in NFL history. Los Angeles Rams great Eric Dickerson rushed for 2,105 rushing yards back in 1984, and no running back has been able to top his mark since. Minnesota Vikings legend Adrian Peterson came the closest in 2012 when he recorded 2,097 rushing yards. Barkley has the advantage of an expanded regular season schedule, now 17 games. During the prior attempts by past legends and when Eric Dickerson set the mark, the season was 16 games. I also have to add that puts what O.J. Simpson did into perspective. I think it was 1973 when he rushed for 2,003 yards. O.J. did that in a 14-game schedule. Imagine if he had 3 extra games to add to that tally. I mean, he could have had, theoretically, 2,400 yards or 300 yards. Anyway, Barkley had 167 rushing yards on 31 carries in today's victory, putting him at 2,005 yards with 1 game to go. Now, considering that they may not have as much in stake in their final performance, in their final game against the New York Giants, who ironically Saquon Barkley previously played for, even though they may not have as much at stake, and therefore his carries, his play, his minutes may be reduced. But I get a feeling that they're going to let Saquon Barkley go for the record. They're going to let him go for the record. He needs 101 yards to set an all-time regular season record. And when you look at the fact that the Giants just gave up 125 yards and 2 touchdowns to Colts running back Jonathan Taylor today, it looks like it could be a high probability, barring injury, that Saquon Barkley is on his way to immortality. Now, Eric Dickerson had this to say about his record and whether it will continue to stay. He says, quote, "I don't think he'll break it, but if he breaks it, he breaks it," Dickerson told the Los Angeles Times' Sam Farmer. Do I want him to break it? Absolutely not. I don't pull no punches on that. And he's been very adamant about people breaking his record. He's very proud of that record, doesn't want it to be broken. But I'm not whining about it. He had 17 games to do it. He brought that up. But hey, football is football. That's the way I look at it. If he's fortunate to get over 2,000 yards to get the record, it's a great record to have. Now, look, Eric, if you're listening, I know you're going to bring that up about him having an extra game to do it, but don't forget, you had 2 extra games to break O.J. Simpson's rushing record. So you benefited from an expanded schedule too. So you can't put that out there like that. I understand what you're saying, but you benefited from 2 extra games too, because if I'm not mistaken, through 14 games in the '84 season, you were like at 1,800 and something. I gotta look at it again. I think it was like 1,890 something or something. Anyway, salute to Saquon Barkley. The 2 other MVP candidates this year, and I got to look to see what they do today because I'm going to follow this little MVP race. Matter of fact, I don't know if the Ravens are playing. They might have a bye after all the games they just played. But the 2 other MVP candidates are Baltimore Ravens Lamar Jackson. Matter of fact, he did just play. Played Christmas Day. Yes, he didn't play today. So Lamar Jackson, who just broke Mike Vick's record for most rushing yards for a QB. And, of course, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Got to see what he does. So this is coming down to the wire. Me personally, man, I would like to see Josh Allen win it because I'm a Bills fan. But if I'm going to be intellectually honest about it, I think the MVP is probably Lamar Jackson. But I can see a case for Saquon getting it if he breaks that record, especially in another win. If they cap it off with another win, this is one of the most interesting MVP races I've ever seen in my life, man. And you wonder why the NFL is kicking the NBA's ass. Because they don't just focus on one fucking guy and one team. Even when Tom Brady and the Patriots were doing their thing, they still didn't just focus on the Patriots. They still talked about the sorry-ass Cowboys every day. But they still talk about, the Packers and the Chargers and the Giants and, the Jets even get some love. And you'll hear a little bit about the Jaguars. And they talk more about the different teams out there. The Vikings. But anyway, that's all I got to say on this one, man. Tell me what you guys think.